No worries, I can keep a secret. I won't tell anyone. Besides, money talk just attracts the wrong kind of people. Trust me, I won't say anything.
Tom, you got a minute? We need to talk. It's important. Please answer me as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm on my lunch break. What's up? Is everything okay?
Your parents called me today about the inheritance money 3 times today at work.
Oh? What'd they say? They mentioned wanting to talk to you about it.
Why did you tell them? I told you not to tell anyone, Tom. You promised not to tell anyone. We agreed to keep this private. Why did you tell?
Come on, they're my parents. They don't count. They're family. What's the big deal? They won't tell anyone else.
You don't understand. I've got coworkers asking questions now. Your mom told her friends, who told their kids. Now everyone at work knows. This is exactly why I didn't want anyone to know.
So what? It's good news, right? Nothing to be ashamed of.
I didn't want money talk getting around. Like I said before, think of this as Mom's inheritance. Now I'm getting weird looks at work. I didn't want to deal with something like this. People think I'm suddenly rich. Do you see why I wanted to keep it private?
But you're the one who inherited it. It's yours, not your mom's. Why do you keep saying that? Why does it matter what other people think of you?
Because that's how I see it. Dad left it to help take care of Mom. I'm just managing it. I'm only using the money for her needs.
That's not what the lawyer said, though, right? It's legally yours, all of it. You can do whatever you want with it.
Even so, I told you that I'm not doing anything with it right now. I told your parents that too. They asked if they could live in one of the properties. Well, actually, they demanded it.
Well, our house is pretty run down. My parents would be so happy if you let them use one of the houses. They've been talking about moving for years.
I've told you multiple times, these properties have tenants. People are living there right now, families with children. We can't just kick them out.
But you're the owner now, right? You could just tell them to leave. You could just give them a notice or whatever.
Even if I could, there are lease agreements. And I can't just kick out people who are paying rent on time. That's not right. These people have lives, jobs, kids in school.
They're just strangers. Why do you care so much? Family should come first. You're choosing random people over your in-laws.
Those strangers are providing rental income. What's going on with your parents anyway? After I said no to the house, they asked for money. A lot of money. Why are they asking for it?
They really want to move soon. Can't you help somehow? Their house needs repairs. The roof is leaking again.
I told you that I don't have cash available. The properties are assets, not money. Why can't they fix their own roof?
They're on a fixed income. You know that. They've been struggling.
They never mentioned struggling before, only after they heard about the inheritance.
Sure you do. Just sell one of the $500,000 properties. Problem solved. Everyone wins.
Are you even listening to me? How many times do we need to have this conversation? The properties have tenants with contracts. I can't just sell them overnight, and I won't do it.
But my parents need help. You could at least try. They're your in-laws, even if just by marriage. Don't you care about family at all?
My mom depends on this rental income. Have you thought about that? She'd for this. You never cared about your parents' house before.
Well, yeah, because you couldn't help before, but now you can.
If they were really struggling, they would have asked for help before. They didn't because they can manage on their own. They're not destitute.
That was different. Now you have $500,000. You're just choosing not to help. What kind of daughter-in-law are you?
I've told you I can't use it. Please try to understand this isn't a pile of cash.
Stop being so stingy! Your mom's willing to take my parents on vacation. Whatever. If you won't help, I'll ask your mom. She's more generous than you.
Excuse me? You're seriously going to ask my mom after she just lost her husband?
What choice do I have? I never knew you were so greedy. I want to do something for my parents, but you're hoarding your inheritance. Makes me wonder why we're even married. A real wife would help the family.
What are you talking about? You are being ridiculous. My mother is grieving. She just lost her husband.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm done expecting anything from you. I thought you were different. I guess money shows people's true colors.
No, it really does. It's showing exactly who you and your parents are. I see it now.
Oh, I'm sorry. My parents really want to move. Can't we talk about this?
Going from me to my mom for money is insane. Mom's grieving even more than I am. How can you and your parents do this? Have you no shame? How can you keep on asking?
Your dad would probably want us to use the money to help family. Money's best when used to help others. He wouldn't want you to be selfish. You're dishonoring his memory.
Don't you dare talk about my father. You barely knew him. You never visited when he was sick.
I was busy with work, you know that. Besides, this isn't about him right now.
That's rich coming from someone who doesn't help others with their own money. You all just seem obsessed with money. When is the last time you helped your parents? When's the last time you even visited them?
Taking money? How dare you say that? We're family! Family helps family. This is normal.
Really? Your parents are constantly calling me at work, then hanging up. And I know they're the ones putting dog poop on my car. The security cameras caught them. Is that how family acts?
They're just frustrated because you're being so unreasonable. If you just help them, even a little...
Help them harass me? Help them stalk my mother? I am done with all of you. I want a divorce right now. This is beyond toxic.
Divorce, huh? Yeah, maybe that's best. I don't want to be with a greedy woman either. Maybe I'll find a wife who actually cares about my parents. Someone who actually understands family.
You're not even going to try to save this marriage? You're just jumping straight to insults. I can't believe you.
What is there to save? You've shown your true colors. My dad always said money changes people. I guess he was right. Now I'm seeing it.
So you agree to the divorce? This is what I'm reading, right? I'll contact a lawyer tomorrow.
Sure, we can get a divorce, but I'm getting my share of the assets. Perfect, getting rid of an abusive wife and getting money. And I won't settle for any less than what I deserve. Half of everything.
Abusive? Really? How am I abusive? How exactly have I been abusive? By not giving you my inheritance? Can you please explain?
You've been emotionally manipulative, using your dad's death to make me feel guilty, turning my parents against me. I've documented everything.
That's completely backwards. You don't see that? How can you be serious? You're the one who's been manipulative, not me. And your parents have been harassing me.
They wouldn't have to if you'd have just helped them. This is all your fault. You forced them to take action. That's why I'm gonna fight for the money I deserve.
Are you seriously justifying harassment? What's gotten into you? Do you hear yourself? You should reread your messages.
Whatever, let's just get this over with. I want what's mine.
Fine, I'll start the divorce preparations. I'll have a lawyer present to avoid any misunderstandings. Everything will be documented. Everything.
Wow, even getting a lawyer. Must be nice having the inheritance money. Daddy's money makes you feel powerful? Is that what this is about?
Stop bringing up my father. This doesn't concern him. You didn't even attend his funeral. You said you had to work, and now you want his money? How unfair.
Don't start with that again. I told you I was busy. Besides, funerals are too depressing.
Unbelievable. Just when I think you can't sink any lower, you just did.
Whatever. Just hurry up with the divorce prep. I want this done fast. My lawyer says I'm entitled to half of everything.
Your lawyer? When did you have time to get a lawyer?
I've been planning this for a while, ever since you showed your true self. He says I have a good case.
Tell your lawyer the inheritance isn't part of marital assets. Let's save everyone some time.
We'll see about that. Everything during marriage is shared. That's the law.
Not inherited assets. But go ahead and waste money on lawyers. You won't get anything.
Speaking of money, my parents really need help with legal fees since this is all your fault.
And absolutely stop contacting my mother. If you continue, I'll report the harassment to the police. I mean it, Tom. I will. I have all the proof I need.
Whatever, just hurry up with the divorce prep. Time is money. And speaking of money...
Stop, just stop. We'll handle everything through lawyers. Don't talk to me about money anymore.
Sarah, my parents are coming to the divorce meeting tomorrow. They want to protect their interests.
Fine, I got it. My lawyer will be there too. Don't try anything, it won't work.
What's that supposed to mean? We're the victims here. Do you not get it? You've torn this family apart.
You did that all on your own. You and your parents. It was never me. I have all the harassment documented.
Harassment? Please! You're so dramatic. Those weren't even considered harassment. Always playing the victim.
The security cameras don't lie, neither do the phone records. Or the police reports. I have so much evidence.
Police reports? What police reports?
Every incident is documented. Every call, every vandalism, every threat. Scared?
Whatever. By the way, I heard your house burned down. That's your karma for being greedy. God is watching. Maybe this'll teach you to be more considerate to others. I guess you'll have to sell now.
Really? You're actually gloating about this. People could have died. They could have gotten seriously injured.
No one was hurt, though. Just property damage. Insurance'll cover it. Now you have no excuse.
Funny how you should mention that. The security cameras caught everything. Every single detail.
What do you mean? What cameras? There weren't any cameras. I didn't see any.
The cameras caught you and your parents.
We just wanted to pressure you a little. The house has such a good location near the station and everything. We thought if the tenants moved out, maybe you'd let us live there. We were desperate. I apologize. I'm really sorry about all this.
I would never rent to you, no matter what. You're criminals, all of you. I don't want any of you in my life.
What should I do? What can I do? I'll apologize. I'm sorry. I'll get on my knees before you and the tenants. Please help us. I'll do anything.
Apologies won't fix this. You crossed a line you can't uncross. You did too much. You're all criminals now, and all of you will pay for your crimes. That's your legacy.
Well, Mom's the one who actually did it. I just helped a little. I just drove the car. I kept watch to make sure no one was in the house. She's the one who started the fire. It wasn't me.
A co-conspirator pointing fingers? Wow, I can't believe this. Really hitting rock bottom here, I can see it. Weren't you talking about being a good son? Why don't you take the fall for your mom then? Show that family loyalty you kept preaching about.
That's different. I don't want to go to prison. They don't deserve my loyalty anymore. This was all their idea. It's your property, right? Can't you do something? Drop the charges, please?
Nothing can be done. Absolutely nothing. The police have the evidence. It's out of my hands. I can't change anything now.
There has to be a way. Something. Sarah, please. I never really wanted to divorce you. I was just frustrated. I just got angry because you were so cold to my parents. I really regret everything. Please don't abandon me. Please don't leave me. I still love you. Please.
You were celebrating the divorce and excited about getting part of my assets, and now this? How pathetic. Scared about life after prison? This is all your fault. You'll lose your job and everyone will know that you're a criminal. Your parents too, all three of you. All because of greed.
I was just doing what Mom told me to. She planned everything. It wasn't even me. I got dragged into this. I still really love you. We can work this out. Start fresh.
If you loved me, you wouldn't have done this. You wouldn't have harassed me. You would have protected me from your parents, or stalked my mother, or tried to burn down a building. By the way, you were excited about the divorce settlement, but our joint assets are minimal. The inheritance isn't part of it, just so you know. Your lawyer should have told you that, but I'm just telling you just in case you didn't know.
What? It's not included, but we were married. That's not fair. I should get more.
So that's what you thought? That's why you agreed to divorce so quickly, hoping to cash in? I'm so glad I chose to divorce you. You're the greedy ones, all of you. Disgusting.
Please, Sarah, one last chance, please. Think of our marriage. Please reconsider the divorce. Think of my parents. They're too old for prison, please.
I won't help you, and I can't help you. You're all the worst people I have ever known. You did this to yourselves. It was never me. Goodbye, Tom. This is the end. Don't text me anymore.
Sarah? Sarah, please. At least answer me. Sarah? I'm scared. Please forgive me. I'll pay for the damages, but please help me to not go to prison. Please, Sarah, I'm sorry.
My husband and his family were arrested and stood trial. They received prison sentences, with my mother-in-law receiving the harshest sentence as the main perpetrator, though my husband and father-in-law were convicted as accomplices. The court deemed their actions extremely malicious, and they all went to prison. I finalized the divorce through discussions at the prison. Compensation for the burned house came from our divorce settlement, his wages, and his parents' assets. Their actions, which they tried to dismiss as a prank or minor incident, resulted in the whole family becoming criminals. I hope they properly reflect on their actions behind bars. I seriously apologized to the tenants and provided them moving expenses, helping them find a new place through my contacts. The only silver lining is that nobody was hurt. Though the fire damage was minimal, I decided to sell the house. Now I live with my mom. I thought money wouldn't change people, but I've learned firsthand how it truly can. Moving forward, I want to carefully plan the future with my mom and make sure I don't let money cloud my own judgment.
Dave, you sneaky thing. I just got another delivery. You've been buying more baby toys behind my back.
Busted. Sorry, I just couldn't help myself. I know. This time I have a good reason, though.
What did you get? The delivery box is huge.
Well, remember how we were talking about educational toys?
Dave,
It's not what you think.
our house is going to be buried in all the toys and clothes you keep buying. And you know it'll be ages before the baby can even play with them.
But think about how organized we'll be having everything ready.
We already have 3 sets of building blocks.
Different kinds, though. Wood, plastic, and foam. They each serve different purposes.
What did you get this time? Don't tell me it's a toy piano. Of all things, that's going to take forever before she can use it. At least something like stuffed animals she could use right away.
About that piano.
You didn't.
But it's so cute! It's this beautiful light pink with these gorgeous engravings on it. When I imagined our little girl playing with it, I just couldn't resist. Before I knew it, I'd hit the purchase button. I'm sorry.
How much was it?
On sale, really, 40% off.
That's not an answer.
The important thing was that it was a good deal.
I mean, I get the daydreaming part, but maybe we should slow down a bit.
But there are so many cute things. Have you seen the new collection at Baby Palace?
Don't you dare.
Too late. I may have ordered a few things.
Dave!
With all these toys, we probably won't need to buy any for like 2 or 3 years. We could practically open a toy store at this point.
So you're saying you won't buy any more?
Well, define won't buy any more.
Dave.
No way! I want to do everything I can for her.
Stop spoiling her already. She's not even born yet and you're already going overboard.
Hey, I'm not spoiling the baby. This is for me. It's my therapy, okay?
Your therapy is emptying our bank account.
But look at this matching mother-daughter outfit set I found.
We talked about those. No matching outfits.
But you'd both look so cute.
Aw, you don't have to say that. I'm just happy you get this excited about everything. The nursery is already full. Where are we gonna put all this stuff?
I may have already looked into storage solutions.
You didn't buy more furniture, did you?
Just a small bookshelf and maybe a toy chest.
Is she precious to you?
Of course she is! Our baby is the most precious thing in the world!
I agree, but I'm getting a little jealous here.
Actually, you and our daughter are tied for first place in my heart. You're both the most precious to me.
That's still embarrassing to hear, even now.
Never stop being embarrassed. Your blushing is too cute.
Stop it.
I'm not exaggerating.
You really are impossible sometimes.
Impossibly in love.
Now you're just being cheesy.
You love it, though.
Maybe.
I've got to do something to keep you interested in a loser like me.
You're not at all. You really did work hard after falling for me at first sight, trying to impress me by improving yourself inside and out. You even succeeded with that diet and got that promotion at work.
I had to impress you somehow. Remember when I first asked you out?
You were so nervous you spilled your coffee.
Not my finest moment, but it worked. You gave me your number. I really did change because of you. No exaggeration there.
Tell me how again?
Well, before you, I was just drifting at work, but then I saw you and thought, I need to be worthy of her.
That was all you. You were already amazing before. You just needed a little push.
What about when I learned to cook?
You mean when you almost burned down your kitchen?
Hey, I've improved.
You have. Your curry last night was amazing.
See, it's things like that that make me love you even more. You're so kind, Mari.
Remember our first date?
At that tiny cafe, I was so worried you wouldn't show up.
I was 20 minutes early. I just waited around the corner.
Really? You never told me that.
I was nervous too.
I'm not saying anything special. Anyway, you care about me, and our daughter is precious because she's our child. I get why you're going overboard. She's our baby, after all. Speaking of the baby, did you feel her kick this morning?
Yes, right during my meeting.
She's gonna be energetic like her mama. Thanks for understanding, but you're right, I need to cut back on the shopping. We should save money too, that's also for our daughter's future.
We need to plan long term.
Like college savings?
That too, but I was thinking that after she's grown and moved out, it'll just be us two again. I want us to travel together and stay close forever. We need retirement savings for that too.
Where should we go first?
Remember how we talked about visiting Europe?
Paris first? You've always wanted to see the Eiffel Tower.
Yes, and then Italy.
Retirement? Oh yeah, I wasn't even thinking that far ahead. You're right, I need to save up so we can have a nice, relaxed life together when we're older.
Please do. I'm counting on you.
Just imagine, we'll be that cute old couple holding hands in the park.
With matching gray hair.
Of course, I'll do anything and everything I can for you and our baby, whatever's in my power.
Thanks, Dave.
I still get butterflies when you call me that.
Just wait until our daughter calls you her dad.
I might cry. Hey, we're always buying stuff for the baby, but what about you? Is there anything you want or need? Anything I can do for you?
Something you can do? Well, it's not exactly that, but I do have something I want to talk about.
What is it? Everything okay?
It's about your mom. She's been coming over a lot lately.
Oh yeah, she's been cooking for us, right? It's really nice of her, but maybe it is a bit too frequent. Like, coming over every day might be a bit much.
It started with once a week.
And now?
She was here this morning, and yesterday, and the day before.
Really? I didn't realize it was that often.
Yeah, it's almost daily now, and honestly, I get kind of tense when she's here. I have to be on the whole time, you know?
What do you mean by on?
Like, I can't relax in my own home.
She does tend to be particular about things.
She reorganized our kitchen yesterday.
Without asking?
Said she was just helping.
Yeah, I get it. Having your mother-in-law around all the time would make anyone uncomfortable. And maybe we don't need her cooking quite so often. I mean, you want to cook too, right?
I barely get to use the kitchen anymore.
What do you mean?
She comes right when I'm about to start cooking.
Every time?
It's like she knows. Right, could you maybe talk to her about coming less often? But please don't tell her I was complaining. I don't hate her visits or anything. I just need some space sometimes.
Of course, I'll handle it. Want me to suggest once a week?
That would be perfect.
I'll text her tonight.
Thanks, just be gentle about it.
Oh, don't worry, I got it. I'll be careful how I phrase it.
Thanks, that helps a lot. That's all I needed.
By the way, you had that stomach ache yesterday. Feeling better?
Sort of.
Sort of?
It comes and goes.
Maybe we should see the doctor?
A little better, I guess? It's getting colder lately, so maybe I just gotta chill. I'll try to stay warm.
You sure? You've been having those stomach aches a lot lately.
I'm probably just stressed.
About Mom?
Let's just see if it gets better after she comes less often.
Okay, but promise you'll tell me if it gets worse?
I promise. Mari, my son told me you don't want me to come over anymore. Dave spoke with you? He said you're overwhelmed. That's not exactly what was said. We just requested fewer visits. You've been coming over almost daily. I'm trying to help. I understand, but... Fine, I'll just drop off food then. I'm heading over now. What? Right now? That's not really... I'm already on my way. It's not a good time. What's wrong? Don't you like my cooking? You're the only one who ever complains. Everyone else praises my cooking skills. Your cooking isn't the issue. Then what is? It's not that I dislike it, but... But what? Speak up. I just wasn't expecting a delivery today. Well then, I'll be throwing away perfectly good food. You don't have to throw it away. So you'll eat it? Actually, I should be honest about something. What now? After eating your food, I always feel sick. Could the ingredients be spoiled? Absolutely not. How dare you suggest that? I'm just trying to understand. Understand what? Then maybe something's going wrong during transport. I always get stomach pains after you leave. That's ridiculous. It happens every time. That's all in your head. Or maybe you just have a weak stomach. Besides what? You're just too picky. Your cooking isn't always pregnancy safe. Sometimes it's really spicy or has raw ingredients. Considering the baby, I'd rather not risk it. Raw ingredients? I've been cooking longer than you've been alive. I know, but pregnancy requires extra caution. You're just being paranoid and so ungrateful, complaining about food someone kindly made for you. You're a terrible mother. That's not fair. Life isn't fair. I'm trying to help and you're being impossible. I'm sorry. Someone needs to teach you proper manners. I'm definitely coming over today. Just wait. Please don't. I'm already outside. Open the door. Dave, I'm exhausted.
What happened? Everything okay?
Your mom just came by.
What? But I just told her yesterday to come less often.
She showed up angry, really angry.
What exactly did she do?
She was yelling through the door.
You didn't let her in, right?
No, but she left another container of food outside.
Just ignore it.
I tried to explain why I couldn't eat it.
What did she say?
I'm exhausted. She tried forcing me to eat her food. Even when I said no, she wouldn't listen.
I'm sorry, but Mom's just trying to help in her own way. She's excited about her first grandchild and probably wants to contribute somehow. She's just overdoing it.
Overdoing it? You think this is just good intentions?
She's always been a bit intense.
Dave, this is different.
Different how?
Of course. Mom must be looking forward to the baby.
See, that's what I mean.
Dave, I think you're wrong.
Huh, what do you mean?
You know I've been having stomach problems lately, right? Wanna guess why?
Are you saying it's Mom's cooking?
Every time I eat your mom's food, I get sick. Every single time.
But I eat it and I'm fine.
When was the last time you actually ate her food?
Last week? No, maybe 2 weeks ago?
And I've been eating it almost daily.
I must have an iron stomach, plus pregnant women are more susceptible to food poisoning.
Exactly, and your mom knows I'm pregnant.
Are you sure Mom's food is the cause?
Think about it, the timing matches perfectly. Don't you think it's weird that I get sick every time?
You're right, it is strange, but why would Mom do this?
Remember how she reacted when we announced the pregnancy?
She seemed happy.
She cried, Dave, and not happy tears. Mom must be planning something, otherwise this wouldn't happen every time. What if something happens to the baby?
Mari, I'm so sorry. I've been completely blind. You've been suffering this whole time.
I wasn't completely sure it was your mom's cooking either.
But Mom's behavior is definitely suspicious. She's so aggressive about making you eat her food. After seeing how she acted today, I'm even more convinced.
I've been keeping the containers.
Smart thinking, we might need them. You should go to the hospital right now for tests. I'll leave work early and meet you there.
What about your mom? I'm scared. What if she did something to hurt the baby?
I'll protect you both, I promise.
I'm at the hospital now.
I'm 10 minutes away. What did the doctor say?
They're running tests.
Stay strong. I'm almost there.
Carol, please don't come to our house anymore. Finally showing your true colors. What do you mean? Fine by me. And I will never eat your cooking again. Never. Already forgetting my kindness in cooking for you. Such an ungrateful attitude. Kindness? Your food is poison. I get sick every time I eat it. More lies. The hospital confirmed it. How dare you? There's nothing wrong with my cooking. Stop blaming me for your weak constitution.
Mom, it's your cooking. Please stop hurting Mari. Don't contact us anymore.
Now you're turning my own son against me.
Your jealousy could have killed my wife and child. If anything had happened to either of them, I would never forgive you.
Kill them? Don't be so dramatic.
It's not dramatic. Mari's in the hospital because of you.
The hospital? Over a little stomachache?
A little stomachache? The doctors found bacteria.
So what?
It's not just a stomachache, it's food poisoning. They found bacteria in her system. If it reaches the baby, it could be fatal. She needed emergency hospitalization.
It's that serious?
You put raw and spoiled food in her meals, didn't you? Deny it and we'll have your food tested.
Is she really hospitalized? A normal person would get just a little sick, but... Oh, she's pregnant. The baby, I didn't think.
What didn't you think?
The pregnancy, I forgot about that part.
What were you thinking, putting weird things in her food? Do you hate my child that much? Did you not want my daughter to be born?
No, that's not it. I don't hate the baby. I just want to be mean to Mari.
Be mean to my wife? Why?
Why? Because she took you away from me.
Took me away? I'm a grown man.
You were always paying attention to Mari. I got jealous. I just wanted to be spiteful.
Spiteful? This goes way beyond spite. What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. I never thought it would become life-threatening. I was so thoughtless. I really am sorry. I'll apologize to Mari properly, too.
Don't bother. Mari won't accept your apology. For Mari and my child's safety, I never want to see you again.
Never? That's impossible.
No, it's not. I've decided to cut ties with you.
You don't mean that.
Watch me.
You're joking.
Does this seem like a joking matter? Please, just leave us alone. This is it, Mom. This is goodbye.
At least let me apologize to Mari one last time.
I'll get her.
This is Mari. Mari, I'm truly sorry. Yes, I tampered with the food, but I didn't mean any real harm. No harm? Really? I deeply regret what I did. Is that so? Well, regret won't undo what you did. Live with that regret for the rest of your life. As a mother yourself, you should understand children are everything to a parent. Being abandoned by your child must be painful, but that's what happens when you try to harm someone else's child. It's only fair. You stole my son first. You're Dave? Dave is mine now. Mine and our daughters. Stop with this nonsense and get out of our lives. Thanks to the treatment, I recovered and thankfully there was no serious impact on the baby. After that, I went to stay with my parents. Dave suggested I have the baby there to be safe. While I was gone, Dave handled all the preparations for cutting ties with Carol, including moving us to a new place. I was grateful we moved. I wouldn't have felt safe in our old house knowing Carol might show up again. Soon after, I gave birth to our daughter. Now the three of us live peacefully together. We don't have any contact with Carol, so I don't know how she's doing. It's incredibly foolish to endanger your own grandchild out of jealousy. No matter how many times she apologizes, I'll never forgive her.
Hi, John. Did you arrive safely at your parents' place? I'm worried since you haven't contacted me since leaving. Please let me know when you get there.
John's asleep right now.
Excuse me? Who is this?
Oh, sorry. This is Emily. Do you remember me?
Emily? John's childhood friend?
Yes, that's right.
Why are you using John's phone?
Oh, didn't he tell you? I came back home with him.
I see.
John's safe at home, so don't worry.
Where is my husband now?
He's at my place. You know, We live close by since we're childhood friends. We were just having a drink with some friends and John had a bit too much. He's been sound asleep for a while now. I don't think he'll wake up anytime soon.
I'll contact his mother to pick him up then.
No need. This is usually how it goes.
Usually?
Yeah, since we were kids, John always falls asleep like this when he comes over. His mom knows, so she probably won't come even if you call.
But I don't want to inconvenience you.
It's fine. Oh, are you worried something might happen?
My husband is married, so it's not appropriate for him to stay over, even if you're childhood friends.
He's at my parents' house. Nothing will happen, I promise. Probably.
What do you mean by probably?
Sorry, I was just teasing you. Your reaction was cute. Don't worry. Nothing's going on between John and me. I'll let him sleep in my bed.
In your bed?
Is that a problem? I can't move John by myself, you know.
I think I'll contact his mother after all.
Oh, too bad. I wanted to talk to John if he woke up. I get it. You don't have much faith in John to stay loyal to you, do you?
I am confident in my relationship with John. I just don't think it's appropriate for him to stay at another woman's house overnight.
Oh, come on. We've known each other since we were kids. It's not like that between us.
I understand you have a long history, but as his wife, I'm not comfortable with this situation.
Fine, have it your way. I'll wake him up and send him home in a taxi.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, Sarah, you should really loosen up a bit. John always says you're too uptight.
I wasn't aware John discussed our relationship with you.
Oh, we talk about everything. That's what best friends do.
I see. Well, please, let me know when John is in the taxi.
Sure. I'll text you when he's on his way.
Thank you.
John's on his way home now. The taxi just left.
Thank you for letting me know.
No problem. You know, Sarah, I think we got off on the wrong foot earlier.
Did we?
Yeah, I feel like you might have misunderstood my relationship with John.
I don't think I misunderstood anything.
Look, I've known John for years. We're just really close friends. There's nothing for you to worry about.
I appreciate your reassurance, but I'd prefer if we didn't discuss this further.
All right, if that's what you want. But remember, I'm always here if you need someone to talk to about John.
That won't be necessary, but thank you.
Suit yourself. Good night, Sarah.
Good night, Emily.
Sarah, it's been a while. It's Emily.
Emily, how did you get my contact information? Did John give it to you?
John's been having trouble, so I thought I'd give you some advice.
Advice?
John confided in me about your relationship. Things aren't going well, are they?
Why should I hear this from you?
Wow, you're quite aggressive with me. John told me you were the quiet type. Are you angry? I guess it doesn't feel good to know he feels more comfortable confiding in me about his problems than you, his own wife. So you can get angry after all. John said he can never tell what you're thinking, that you're indecisive and don't express your feelings much. He wishes you were more open and honest with him.
Only a married couple can understand their relationship. So thank you very much, but I don't need your advice, Emily.
Don't shut me out. I'm kind of like a big sister figure. People often come to me for advice. I'm not trying to ruin your relationship. I just want to listen to both sides and help improve things.
I can handle this myself, thank you.
Really? Isn't that why you're in this situation? I mean, you and John are at odds because of your infertility, right?
Wow. What did you just say? Listen, Emily, just stay out of this. I know my relationship better than you do.
Oh, is that how you're going to play it?
Yes, we'll be fine without your advice, Emily. I really believe that.
He didn't seem to think so.
I see.
Look, I might be John's childhood friend, but I won't pick sides. I'll listen to your side of the story fairly, too.
No, thank you. If I have something to say to my husband, I'll tell him myself.
Maybe that's what John doesn't like about you. You shouldn't shut yourself off so much. It's important to rely on others when you're struggling.
I'm not struggling, Emily. Quit patronizing me.
You're still being stubborn even after all I've said. You're different from what I imagined, Sarah. Well, if you ever want to talk about John, I'm here. You can rely on me. As John's wife, you're always welcome.
Thank you. I'll be going now.
Fine. Have it your way. But don't say I didn't try to help when things get worse.
I appreciate your concern, but our marriage is our business.
You know, Sarah, I've been thinking about what you said.
What about it?
About how only a married couple can understand the relationship.
Yes, that's right.
But don't you think sometimes an outside perspective can be helpful?
Perhaps in some cases, but not in ours.
You're really adamant about this, aren't you?
I am. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do.
Always so busy with work. That's another thing John mentioned.
Emily, I'd appreciate it if you stopped telling me what John says about me.
I'm just trying to help you understand his perspective.
If John has something to say to me, he can say it himself.
But that's the problem, isn't it? He feels like he can't talk to you.
That's something we'll work out between ourselves.
You're really not making this easy, are you?
There's nothing to make easy. This conversation is over.
Fine, but don't say I didn't warn you when things fall apart.
Goodbye, Emily.
Hey, Sarah, are you free to talk?
Yes?
I have something important to tell you.
What is it?
I'm pregnant with John's child.
What? Pregnant with my husband's child?
Please, let him go. John told me he can't leave you because of you. Your marriage isn't going well anyway, and I understand him better as his childhood friend. So please, divorce him quickly. I'm sorry it turned into an affair, but John chose me as the person who understands him best.
Are you sure you're not mistaken?
What do you mean? I've been by John's side for years as his childhood friend. No one understands him better than I do.
You might know the old John, but I know who he is now. For example, did you know that my husband can't have children?
What?
Emily, are you really pregnant?
Yes, I'm already 4 months along.
Are you absolutely certain it's my husband's child? It seems you did have a relationship with him, but are you sure you didn't sleep with anyone else around that time?
How dare you ask such a horrible thing? I would never cheat on John.
That's strange. When we got married, my husband told me about you.
He told you I was his childhood friend, right?
Well, yes, but he said he had a childhood friend who would sleep with any man. My husband said he wasn't involved, but apparently you had relations with most of the guys in your friend group since high school. That's why he asked me not to get too close to you. He said you were completely different from me and that I'd be grossed out if we got close and realized what you're really like.
Did John really say that?
It's terrible, isn't it? Even though you had taken care of him. But that's the kind of person my husband is.
That's a lie. John told me you were infertile. You're just trying to make me hate you because you're jealous that I'm pregnant. I don't believe a word you're saying.
Well, if I divorce my husband, will you believe me then?
What? You'll divorce John?
Yes. That was my plan from the beginning.
Oh, I see. You should have said so from the start. You didn't have to tell me all that unnecessary stuff.
Well, since you contacted me like this, I wanted to make sure you take responsibility. I'll be claiming compensation for the affair, of course.
So you just wanted money. Were you perhaps delaying the divorce until you can get compensation for John's affair? You must be really in a really desperate financial situation if these are the lengths you're stopping to.
I will be receiving compensation.
Fine, I'll pay. It's true that I had an affair, and if I can be with John, that's a small price to pay.
Thank you. I have nothing more to say, so goodbye.
Hey, Sarah. I'm sorry about all this. I didn't mean to steal him away, but, you know, attractive women tend to get what they want in this world. I'm sure there's someone better out there for a plain type like you. You're still in your 30s, after all. Don't be too pessimistic, okay? Good luck with your life from now on.
Emily, I don't need your pity or your backhanded compliments.
I'm just trying to be nice. You don't have to be so cold.
Being nice would have been respecting my marriage. Goodbye.
Sarah, can you get in touch with John?
I suppose I could if I wanted to.
Can you tell him to contact me? He hasn't read my messages since yesterday, and he's not answering my calls.
Is that something I should do?
You're the only one I can ask. When I told him about the pregnancy, I thought he'd be happy, but he said it wasn't his child.
I told you, didn't I? My husband can't have children.
So the story about you being infertile really was John's lie?
Yes, I've been tested multiple times and told there's no problem. My husband was just using that as an excuse to others. He really hated the idea of being seen as sterile himself.
And you were okay with that?
Of course. I didn't like being blamed, but even if he had an affair, it's still a marital issue. You believed everything my husband said too, didn't you?
But I'm John's childhood friend.
As I said before, that's the kind of person my husband is. He only cares about himself, and he always has to come on top of every situation. He'll even hurt his wife for that. Yet when he's in trouble, he comes crying to me. It's really annoying. Even now, he's sending me messages making excuses saying his relationship with you was just for fun.
What? Just for fun? How could a passionate relationship with his closest childhood friend be just for fun?
Emily, you're being played. Face reality. My husband knew you were still sleeping around with different men. He just wanted to take advantage of that because things weren't going well between us. You were just convenient for him to satisfy his desires. He apparently didn't think you were seriously in love with him.
What should I do?
And that's not for me to say. The child in your womb is another man's, so shouldn't you talk to him if you know who it might be?
I don't know. I made sure to use protection with other men.
There's no 100% safe day when it comes to pregnancy.
I thought it was John's child. I'd given up on my feelings for him when we got married, but then I heard your marriage wasn't going well. He even said we could have had a happy marriage if he'd married me instead.
He really is the most vile lowlife, isn't he?
But John is all I have now. Please, let me talk to John. I don't want it to end like this. I'll raise his child as John's. Tell him we can start over.
What? How can you start over when there was never anything to begin with?
I've already told everyone at work that I'm pregnant. I'm even preparing to quit my job. I can't pretend none of this happened now.
Jesus, talk about getting ahead of yourself. That's quite an overreaction. It's impressive that you could take such actions without even telling my husband about the pregnancy. But it's impossible. My husband won't choose you.
Are you saying you're better than me? You're just a plain Jane and there's nothing special about you. John even said you were too much of an introvert. You and John were never a good match to begin with. That's why you're getting divorced.
My reason for divorce is that I can't take it anymore.
Whatever. Who else does John have besides me?
If you've been listening to our conversation, you should understand by now. He's the type of person who blames his wife for his own infertility. Yet he relies on my income to live. That's why he's clinging to me instead of choosing you.
Well, I have some savings too. I'm even thinking John could be a stay-at-home dad after I give birth. That's how serious I am.
I earn over $200,000 a year. Are you saying you make that much too?
$200,000 a year? You? That's a lie, right?
It's not a lie. I'm a doctor, you know. Even with a doctor earning $200,000, my husband says it's not enough. He gambles and has a lot of expenses. Marrying him was really a mistake.
John even gambles?
Yes. He's at the level of addiction. I've asked him to go see a shrink, but he won't listen. I don't care anymore since we're separating. He hid his infertility, made fun of me behind my back, and even gambles. He might even have debts. I haven't given him any money for the past few months.
Wait a minute. I really don't understand. What should I do now? What is all this? I didn't know he was like that. I I can finally see the reality. I've had enough. It was my fault, so please help me. Tell me what to do. I don't want to think about anything anymore.
First, pay the compensation.
You're a doctor, but you still want compensation? That's money I earned through hard work. I'm about to have a child too.
Does that have anything to do with me? You're the one who had an affair, right? Besides, you said you'd pay, remember? You said it was a small price to pay for such a trashy man. You're such a good person. Emily, you're willing to pay money for a man you were going to throw away.
I don't know what to say. This is all so overwhelming.
Well, you should have thought about that before getting involved with a married man.
I know, I made a mistake. But what am I supposed to do now? I'm pregnant and alone.
That's not my problem, Emily. You made your choices.
Can't you help me at all? You're a doctor, right?
My profession has nothing to do with this situation. I'm not responsible for your choices or their consequences.
But I have nowhere else to turn. John won't answer my calls, and now I found out he's been lying to both of us.
Welcome to the reality of who John really is.
I can't believe I fell for his lies. How could I have been so stupid?
That's something you'll have to figure out on your own.
Sarah, I know I have no right to ask, but can you forgive me?
Forgiveness isn't the issue here, Emily. What's done is done. We all have to live with the consequences of our actions.
I understand. I feel so lost.
That's understandable, but it's not my responsibility to guide you.
What about John? What will happen to him?
That's between John and me, and soon it won't be my concern either.
You're really going through with the divorce?
Of course. Why would I stay with a man who's betrayed me in so many ways?
I guess you're right. I just never thought it would end like this.
Life rarely turns out the way we expect, Emily.
What should I do about the baby?
And that's a decision only you can make. But I suggest you start by finding out who the real father is.
How am I supposed to do that? I don't even know where to start.
There are paternity tests available. As a doctor, I can tell you they're quite reliable.
But what if I can't find the father?
Then you'll have to decide if you're prepared to raise a child on your own.
I never wanted to be a single mother.
Few people do, but sometimes that's the hand we're dealt.
I'm scared, Sarah.
That's normal, but fear doesn't solve anything. You need to start making plans.
Plans for what?
For your future, for the baby's future. You can't rely on John anymore.
I don't know how to do this alone.
Nobody does at first, but you'll learn.
I'm sorry, Sarah, for everything.
I appreciate that, Emily. But sorry doesn't change what happened.
I know. I wish I could take it all back.
We can't change the past. We can only move forward.
How can you be so calm about all this?
Because getting emotional won't solve anything. We need to think practically now.
You're right. I need to pull myself together.
Yes, you do. For your sake and for your child's.
Sarah, can I ask you one more thing?
What is it?
Do you think I'll be okay?
That depends entirely on you, Emily, on the choices you make from here on out.
I understand. Thank you for being honest with me.
It's the least I can do. Now, about that compensation.
Right, I'll figure out how to pay it.
Good. That's a start.
Sarah, I know this might be asking too much, but can we stay in touch?
I don't think that's a good idea, Emily. We need to go our separate ways.
I understand. I just thought, never mind.
It's better this way. Clean break for everyone.
You're probably right. I'm sorry for even asking.
It's fine. Just focus on yourself and your baby now.
I will. Thank you, Sarah, for everything.
And goodbye, Emily. Take care of yourself.
Goodbye, Sarah. I hope you find happiness. Sarah, I know you said we shouldn't stay in touch, but I need your help.
What is it now, Emily?
I tried to contact John again. He threatened me.
Threatened you? How?
He said if I don't leave him alone, he'll make sure I regret it.
That doesn't sound like John.
I know. I was shocked too. I think he's desperate.
Have you considered going to the police?
I'm scared. What if they don't believe me?
If you have evidence of the threat, they'll have to take it seriously.
I have some text messages. Do you think that's enough?
It's a start. You should document everything.
Okay, I'll do that, Sarah. I'm sorry to keep bothering you.
It's fine. Just be careful, Emily.
I will. Thank you for not ignoring me.
Despite everything, I don't want to see you harmed.
It means a lot to me. I'll keep you updated if that's okay.
All right, but remember, I'm not involved in this.
I understand. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah, I did what you said. I went to the police.
How did it go?
They took my statement and the evidence. They're going to investigate.
That's good. You did the right thing.
I'm still scared, though. What if John retaliates?
The police should provide you with the resources for protection.
They gave me some numbers to call. I just feel so alone in all this.
Emily, you need to start building a support system that doesn't involve me or John.
I know, you're right. It's just hard.
Nobody said it would be easy, but it's necessary.
I'm trying to reconnect with some old friends. It's awkward.
It's a start. Keep at it.
Sarah, I know I keep saying this, but thank you. You've been kinder than I deserve.
I'm just doing what any decent person would do.
Still, I appreciate it. I'll try not to bother you anymore.
Take care, Emily.
Sarah, I have news.
What is it?
I found out who the father is. It's not John.
I see. How do you feel about that?
Relieved, actually. And a little ashamed.
Why ashamed?
Because I was so sure it was John's. I caused all this trouble for nothing.
Not for nothing, this whole situation revealed a lot of truths.
You're right. I've learned so much about myself and others.
That's good, Emily. Growth often comes from difficult situations.
The real father, he wants to be involved. He's actually excited about the baby.
That's wonderful news. I'm happy for you.
Thank you, Sarah. I never expected things to turn out this way.
Life is full of surprises. Some good, some bad.
I'm trying to focus on the good now. It's not easy, but I'm trying.
That's all any of us can do.
Sarah, I know we can't be friends, but I want you to know how much I appreciate your support through all this.
You're welcome, Emily. I hope things work out for you and your baby.
Thank you. I hope you find happiness too, Sarah. You deserve it.
Thank you, Emily. Take care.
You too, Sarah. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Emily.
Sarah, I hope this message finds you well. I know we agreed not to stay in touch, but I wanted to let you know that I had my baby. It's a girl. She's healthy and beautiful. I'm doing much better now, both mentally and emotionally. The father has been incredibly supportive. I've also been seeing a therapist to work through my issues. I just wanted to thank you one last time for your kindness during that difficult time. I hope you're doing well and that you found peace and happiness. Take care, Sarah.
Congratulations on your baby girl, Emily. I'm glad to hear you're doing well and getting the support you need. Thank you for the update. I wish you and your family all the best. Take care. After that, I revealed everything about my husband and Emily to my in-laws, and my divorce from my husband was finalized. I was surprised to receive all those provocative messages from Emily, my husband's childhood friend, just as I had finally decided to leave him. But I'm glad, because it gave me more reason to teach him a lesson. Currently, my ex-husband has been disowned by his parents and can't return to his hometown due to rumors about their relationship. It turns out he did have debts and even borrowed from loan sharks. After the divorce, his debts increased further due to the compensation, and now he's working on a fishing boat that operates out of a rural port. Emily has moved to a remote area where no one knows her and is quietly raising her child. Between Emily apologizing and paying me compensation, I'm satisfied that she made up for what she did and bared no ill will. For a while, I plan to focus on my work and slowly heal my wounded heart.